Welcome back, folks, to FlashPoint Weekend Update. So the biggest news this week was the release of the 9.19 test server this morning, and it took me a few moments to gather up the info, but all the contents are mostly the same as the super test server that we covered last week, with the exception of female crew voices for the female crews. So that's pretty sweet. I mean, it's long overdue, like 2 years, but better late than never. So the biggest feature of this patch is obviously the rank battle mode. We already talked a lot about it, but there's new UI for events, the shop and depot, and the missions tab. So better looking, I guess. More tools for clan management, more medals for the stronghold mode, the HD remodels, only 12 of them, but it's for lower tiers like tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3. So we're pretty much close to finishing HD remodels, so that's pretty neat. But for the female crew voices, it's only commander based, so you don't need to have the female gunner, the female drivers or loaders, or the radio operators. All it takes is the commander to be female to have the female voiceover for the whole tank. So this is gender base of the commander, not the entire crew. So small detail, but tank company battles got removed, and that's pretty much this patch. So this patch is about 600 megabytes, with like half of them for the HD remodels and the other half is like the voice files, the audio files, and the small stuff is like what, 50 megabytes, not that much. So yeah, that's the new stuff for this patch. It's pretty small compared to 9.18, but it's only been like what, 2 weeks? A week for the Asian server should be getting it today or this week. The RU and the EU server got it last week, and the North American server got it 2 weeks ago. So yeah, 9.18 was pretty soon. Now we're getting 9.19. Holy crap. The rate, the speed of patches is pretty crazy. So we already talked a lot about the rank battle modes, but here's a quick review of all the rewards. So basically you earn bonds, which are new currency for the rank battle mode. So you cannot buy these with gold or credits, but okay, I guess skill is a basis for getting bonds. You can convert like credits into gold shell, which is basically somewhat of a skill, I guess, but whatever. So after you get bonds, you can buy upgraded equipment. So these are advanced equipment, put onto your vehicle with better stats than the normal standard equipment. So you can just click on the tabs, but these will cost bonds rather than credits. So there's no discount, whatever. But you can also buy directives. So these are special buffs, temporary buffs for bonds onto your vehicle, for your equipments or crew skill. So I already talked a lot about this as well. So I think these are not as effective or appealing as the permanent rewards, obviously, but these cost a lot less. So oh well. But after each stage or season of the rank battle mode, you will receive a reward of standard bond limit or standard amount of bonds, as well as a crate. So depending on your levels of earning, I guess, or ranking. But this crate is basically like the holiday crates for the Swedish nation. So it will pop out a random reward. So I thought it was going to be a test bed for the random crates system into World of Tanks. Pretty much this will utilize that feature. So okay, random stuff, and it's a little bit more reasonable, because if you have a set like standardized reward system, like if you reach this rank you'll get this, if you reach this rank you'll get this, then people will rig for it. So all the rewards are the same and people will rig for the T22. But okay, I mean, this is going to be like random battle modes. It's the same mode and should be the same amount of players, but should be a little bit more appealing because of the skill-based matchmaking, quote unquote. So who knows, but after each rank you'll receive a standard stipend of premium consumables, likely crew skill buffs or free XP buff or whatever buff personal reserves, yada yada. So there is garage slot for the highest ranking and bunks for the second highest ranking. So small stuff, there's no premium tank, so for now, oh well. But here is another feature that they did not mention on the Super Test server, which is a badge specifically for your name in the player panel on the panel screen, as well as the loading screen. But it depends on your ranking per season, so you get a little badge you can put onto your name, and it appears next to your name on the panel thing, which I think is stupid because it means nothing. It's so small and trivial, it doesn't matter. I mean, unless it puts onto your tank, like onto the over target marker thing above your name, then that would be somewhat cool, but whatever, dude, it doesn't matter much. So it doesn't make your tank special or whatever. Just, I mean, it's a step. It's a small, like super small step, but at least you're pointed to the right direction, I guess. So, okay. But the biggest disappointment today about 9.19 is the mod script failed for 9.19. So what I mean is I usually use a mod script to pull out all the vehicles per patch, so you can get to see the hidden vehicles like the T103, the WZ120Gs, FT, or the Tiger 131. So I can only pull out the Tiger 131 is because this vehicle is basically the reskin of the Tiger L56, which already existed in the game for like 2 years. So basically they took the same old model and reskinned it. So yeah, the change to the UI broke the mod script, and therefore I cannot pull out the T103 or the WZs, tank destroyers. So, like Gary Oldman, I am very disappointed. So you can see the actual files in the package for the res folder. So I can pull out these files, but nobody wants to look at vehicle files names and the wall of text. Everybody wants to look at the vehicle. So yeah, super disappointed. But I've been doing this for the past like 2 years, 3 years, using the res folder to pull out the contents, and I make a video. The leak dish video is basically what I do from the mod script. So this patch, man, broke their UI and broke all the stuff. Oh well. But Tiger 131 is available with the mod script, so you can see this vehicle. And well, let's just take a look comparing the Japanese Tiger 1, the heavy tank number 6, to the Tiger 131. Do you see a difference? Well, the difference is very subtle, like very minimal. So there's a different shovel right here, there's a different spade right here. The smoke canister is a little bit different, slightly, and the mantlet gun fix nut, the bolt right here is a little bit different, but that's pretty much it. So the bolt right here is a little bit different, the smoke canister is a little bit different, there's a different spatula or spade, as well as the shovel at the front, but it's a round shovel. This is a square shovel. Wonderful, guys. Awesome. That's the difference I noticed. But here is the back screenshot of these two tanks. So basically all the filtration system, all the vents, all the engine deck, all the canisters. I mean, there's a different lock, I guess. There's a lock right here. There's no lock right there. I mean, some of these stuff are super minimal, but the loading hatch is different, so that's good, I guess. But this is where the loader receives the shells, but the 88mm. But that's the only big difference that you probably will notice by eye or by vision alone. So unless you look like super small spatula or smaller details, but otherwise it's mostly the same. Mostly. So yeah, fine. You can argue that, yeah, these are somewhat differences of the model, sure, but here are the actual stats of these two vehicles. Same stats, with the difference of radio range between these two tanks, which is basically 0.2 tons of weight. So 20 kilogram difference of weight. That's it. All the other stats are the same. Same penetration, same L56, 88mm, the KWK-43, I believe. So yeah, the same gun. The same stats for the engine power, the horsepower per ton ratio, mostly the same. Holy crap, it's the same stuff. So yeah, it's a reskinned Japanese Tiger 1, but it's for the Germans. It's for the Germans, it's not for the British. This tank was captured by the Brits and stored at Bovington Tank Museum, the Tank Museum. So why not just put these as, or this vehicle as the Brits, for the British? It's German. What? We already have a German Tiger 1 at tier 7. I mean, at least make it tier 7 for the Brits with the higher DPM of the original Tiger L56 in the game's res folder. That was the actual remodel of that tank. But now you have a same freaking cash grab much. Oh my god. So that's my rant, but whatever. So there are 3 new vehicles coming out this week onto the Super Test server. So the first one is the tier 7 Chinese tank destroyer, the T-34-2G FT. So this is based off the T-34-2, and we have the WZ-131G at tier 6. We have the WZ-121G at tier 8, and the WZ-120G at tier 9. So the 1G WZ-120 is the 122, the mimic to the SU-122-54, and the WZ-120G FT is the larger box, the superstructure, with the long barrel 130 WZ-120. So I wanted to pull these 2 tanks out of the res folder to show you guys from the test server. It broke. The mod script broke. So oh well. But we also have the Valkyria Chronicles vehicles that I already covered yesterday. So the stats are both tier 8 vehicles. The Edelweiss is tier 8 medium compared to the tier 7 in Blitz, but the stats have been adjusted for the changing tier. So it is pretty fast. I have the full stats, the full screenshot of all the stats, the dispersion, the horsepower per ton ratio. This vehicle has 25 horsepower per ton ratio with pretty awesome terrain resistance. So this is a fast, very fast medium tank with 120mm of frontal armor on the turret as well as on the frontal plate. 190mm of pin is not that bad. It's like the average 90mm guns for tier 8 mediums. So accuracy could be a little bit better, but 0.38 is alright. It does have pretty good dispersion on movement. I always get my spoonerism mixed up. So view range is 370, so it's okay-ish. But as for Nameless, it's a heavy tank, has more health, packs more penetration because it's a longer or larger barrel 88, I guess. Doesn't make sense. So these 2 tanks are Japanese in nationality, so okay, should be German, but whatever. But yeah, does have about 16 horsepower per ton ratio with actually pretty decent terrain resistance. So it will be a lot faster than the counterparts of KV4s. So it's a pretty fast heavy tank, and it has 220mm of frontal hull armor with 240 on the turret. So we're using fantasy tanks to counteract the OPS Object 252U, or at least on the Asian servers. So I'll do the leak videos as soon as possible. I've been busy and lazy, that's my fault. So yeah, new vehicles, folks. And finally, for the rest of the video, we have the Mosaic board. So the community question of this week is, what if you have your favorite sci-fi vehicle into the game? What is it? So we already talked about the Valkyria Chronicles tanks. So a lot of players are complaining. A lot of players want to have their favorite sci-fi vehicles. So some players said about the Metal Slug tank, which is cool, I guess, rapid fire. But yeah, you can also have like tanks from Command & Conquer, tanks from StarCraft, the Siege tank. You have a whole bunch of array of other tanks. So If you have a favorite one, list in the comments below of which vehicles are your favorite. But my favorite is the Prism tank because it's fucking OP in Command & Conquer Red Alert. So it's a ranged artillery piece. So it's like the V2 rocket or V3 rocket, but it fires a laser. It goes through walls. Yeah, you thought about the Tesla tank? Yeah, that's pretty good. You can shoot through walls. This thing can shoot through walls at a longer range. It can also kill like infantry. It can also bounce off different targets. Fucking OP. I also have the Type 61A3. So this is the Gundam tank. Transformer bots thingamajig. So twin barrel, looks like a Merkava, but a lot better. So those are my favorites, but list yours in the comment section below. And for the wallpaper of this month, we have the Berlin Quartet with the Thunderbolt 7. So it's a 5-man group now, rather than 4. So what's the 5-man name for a musical group? Boy band. Exactly. It's called the boy band. So it's no longer a quartet. Alright. But the Wargaming finals are coming up. So that's May 26th or 27th to the 28th, and they're using a lobster to predict the winner, so to speak. It's like using puppies to determine like Super Bowl winners. That's on Jimmy Kimmel or something. I don't know. I don't watch late night other than Stephen Colbert. But yeah, it's a lobster, so it determines the winner if it chooses. But speaking about tomatoes and ranked battle modes, here is a funny story for the end of the video. This is a children demonstration, I believe. So these are children in Pikachu costumes dancing around this morning, May 5th. And this one little Pikachu cannot dance anymore. He got tired. So I think this is like the teacher or his parent tried to shove him off the stage. It's like, you're sucking, get off the stage. And there's this like student principal or something, like just like, stop it. So yeah. Super harsh, like learning environment. Just like, you're sucking, get off the stage. Super harsh, but the same stuff applies to the ranked battle mode. The same stuff applies to life, I guess. So it's all right. Just let the dude dance. Let a little kid dance. Whatever. So ranked battle mode, folks. If you fuck up, you get pulled off. Pretty much the same thing applies to life. It's sad, but oh well. So there you go, folks. FlashPoint for the week of May 5th, 2017. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.